All right, I'm just gonna get right into it. Don't have a lot of time. So, I just got a pair of bespoke, custom-made watches to my specifications, and yeah, made by this brand Handdn. I've featured them on this channel before. Uh, Full disclosure, there is no relationship, or it's not paid or anything. I bought this out of my own money, and this is my own review, and my words are my own, and they have nothing to do with this. I didn't get nothing free or anything. This is a legit, this straight up purchase of mine that when it made for this particular watch, the TAG Heuer Carrera Montreal 160th anniversary edition. Yeah, it is 160. I've had a number of anniversary watches, so sometimes I get confused. But yeah, this is a cool watch. And let me see if I can turn this on from this side. We have enough power here to brighten this side up a bit. Yeah, it's a really cool watch. Really love it. Love the primary colors, and with the blue, yellow, and red accents. Let me get this a little closer, and of course with this clean white dial. It's quite versatile, and this is currently on a strap by Deluxe, and it's like a white Epson with a navy center stripe. I featured and showed this strap pairing before, maybe even a couple of times. It's definitely one of my favorites that really goes with this watch. And yeah, it's really cool. Navy stripes, stitching on sides, nicely made, quick release spring bars. It's a good strap, and I think didn't pay that much for it. I think it was around $80 or $90, more or less, somewhere around that ballpark price range, and totally worth it. And yeah, it suits this watch quite good. But having fun with, if you've seen this channel and all my straps that I like to play with, this one in particular had a couple of things in mind. Like I wanted something definitely perforated, and to just give it even more of that racy feel to it. You know, this is cool, but it's just smooth, and I think having this perforated would have been too much, right? Stripes going down holes. Yeah, this is fine the way it is. It's pretty clean. It's very sporty. Love this combination in the strap. And but I wanted something perforated, and I wanted to go with something that continued the theme of the colors of this watch. Let me zoom up for a bit, and with the white, yellow, red, and of course the blue accents. And I wanted to go with something, my thoughts were when I was making these straps was to go something kind of OEM plus. You know, it looks like it's something that the brand might have produced and paired with this watch, maybe at some point, maybe as a special edition, I don't know, but it looks like very matching and fitting. But of course it will still be very bespoke, because nothing like this exists to my knowledge. I'm sure it doesn't. What I've done here, and I've decided to do two straps. It was only originally going to be one. Then I thought about it. I said, you know what? Since I'm doing this, when I go the extra mile and just make another secondary pairing for this watch. And so that's what I did. So we're going to take a look at that. And I wanted something that looks like if it was, these were like racing, like a racing group's color. Some way that it could look like, the strap could look like it as part of that. Like you can imagine like the race suit or fire suit, I guess, that they wear would all work as totally cohesive, right? And there's a couple of themes or styles I went with. So theming this, and we'll talk about this real quickly. So let me back up so you can see it all. Here are the two. And yeah, I had these made with, these are totally customizable. So this one, I wanted to do something white. I was going to do navy stripes, but I actually went with, though it's kind of dark here, I wish it was a little bit more blue, but the stripes on the side, maybe when I take it out, it might show up more. Why don't we take them out? This one, Actually has a navy stripe going down the sides. I was hoping it would be a little bit more blue, but I have something here that pops out as well. Maybe over time it might show up more. It's been painted blue. And so we got basically white with some red accents and blue and yellow keepers. I decided to go with a butterfly, you know, deployment class. I just felt like maybe this could feel a little bit more high end. I was going to do a regular, you know, buckle of some sort, but I said, what the heck, I'll go try this, because there is some kind of, it can kind of feel a bit more elegant if it has, you know, a dual deployment, just the way it kind of just neatly stays together when it deploys, as well as when you put it together. It should be a pretty neat fit. So we have this one here, and we have this one here too, which I went with playing off of the blue theme on this one. Come on. More, and I was going with a more blue and yellow look for this strap, and they're made with a different leather material and texture. You can see that they are both perforated, and I'll go over the specs real quickly. But I wanted to still incorporate the red, so I just made it as the lining on the inside, and maybe it to some angle, a little bit on the inside there, or when this thing folds over, you might still be able to catch a bit of the red on the inside of the tail end, the inside of the strap a bit. But yeah, that was, in this case, I wanted that to fall like last in terms of color. I really, when I look at this watch by itself, dial, like the blue, white, and yellow are the most dominant. The red is just like kind of the lax accent color, really, even though it's dead in the middle. There's definitely more of the other colors, right? So in that sense, I wanted to play off of that scheme, but then since I had a white strap, I wanted to go dark. And yeah, so both of these are fairly similarly spec'd in terms of, you know, I used their new 3D customizable strap, you know, app or whatever inside their website that they've been advertising. You might have seen on YouTube or something. That's pretty new because they didn't have that earlier when I bought some other Handdn straps. And did I mention these are from Handdn? You didn't know from here. And they're basically both spec very similarly in terms of 19 millimeters, right, size, and they both taper down at 16. They're both padded, round padded, that is. I don't know if you can see that, just to bolster it up a little bit, but not too heavily. You can actually do it more full, or more square, maybe even all the way through if you wanted to make it thicker. You can pick the stitching, like these kind of side stitch, or like something like this, and there's some that have double rows, and some other ones that's like a box which goes across. What else can you do? The tip shape, I just went with a classic. I think that works best. I don't need it squared off. I think that's a little bit too brutal for this. The spring bars you can customize, regular or quick release. Of course I went with quick release. The leather, you pick out, like, you can, well, first you pick out the style. They're both perforated, like kind of rally style, but you can do like a classic, you can do pilot style, even NATOs and some other ones. You gotta check our website, but that's basically the same in that respect. And then you choose a leather for them. There's a bunch of leather options and colors. Not all colors are available for all leather types, so you gotta look through them and kind of decide which one's best suited. And I'll go over each one real quickly after I name the specs. You can, or the details of ordering, sort of as briefly as I can. You can choose the lining material and the color. Again, I mentioned the stitching. What else is there? The length. I believe this is 115 by 75 on the short end, respectively. which should work for my 7-inch wrist. This is a standard, that's what they call their standard lengths. You get them smaller, longer, or anywhere in between if you really wanted to really further customize the lengths of each one that isn't within their standards. You can do that. The buckle again, there's a couple like finishes. One with a dual deployment on both of these in this case. And oh, you can specify whether you want how you want the edge handled. Sorry about the focus. Whether you want it painted or you can do a fold over. So basically the leather will kind of wrap around so it looks like it's more one continuous leather wrapping around the whole thing, which costs more obviously, well, but that's what it is. I guess my other light is killed. Oh, it's running low on power, but hopefully you can still see this okay. Where was I at? So that's basically it. The thing that I had, you know, well, I'll get into that last. So the difference between these two are, this is white Epson leather for the main strap. This is made of dark blue or navy. I have to check. I guess it's considered navy blue. Or is it just blue? I forget. I'll try to list out the specs maybe in the description, like what I had it completely spec'd out as. But this is Saffiano leather. And the inside is called Swift. And this is in red and this is in navy. Obviously the stitching, accent stitching is yellow here. And then this one is red. Again, the point glass, high polish. I think they only come in high polish for these. Same tips. The only thing extra that I specified that you couldn't customize in their app, you can make notes to, you know, further detail what you want customized, was to have 2 different colored keepers. And I specified like the yellow and white on this, and navy blue and yellow on this. Did I say the? Yeah, so this is white painted on the side. I just wanted that. I think that looks pretty sharp like that. This is navy, actually, on the side of this, but it's pretty dark, but it's all right. I think it still will work, and especially on the outside, you have this a little bit brighter blue that kind of pops a little bit more. That will kind of work with that, I think, a little bit pretty well. And that's it. I just kind of, and I'll show you a picture of what the 3D renderings look like. One for this. Hopefully I'll just kind of display it 1, 2, 3 like that. And then this one, I'll go 1, 2, 3. I'm just making a cue for myself to place the images here. And then I went into my own Photoshop and just manipulated one of the images to reflect what I wanted out of the keepers, being 2 different colors with the way that the strap was spec'd out. And I'll show those up here together. You can see what I did there. And I just told them that I wanted these keepers, and you specify the leather that you want. Now the leather in this case is Saffiano here, because this specific blue and yellow only comes in that leather, but that's fine. I don't mind that it's a little bit different. It's so small an area, and I don't think most people will even really notice it, but I think they'll just kind of be more struck by the color combination all around with the red, white, blue, and yellow together. I think that will work pretty nicely. And then this one, they couldn't match they don't have a white Saffiano, so this one had to be like the white Epson, and that's fine, because I really wanted this to be a bright white, and that the specific yellow, which matches the stitching pretty well. And I think that works pretty well to kind of, again, play off this theme. And I'm not going to change it off right now, just because I'm pressed for time, and I'll show like a better, like on, you know, the watch by itself with the actual strap on and on wrist and all that in a later episode of Watch Strapping. But you can get an idea that this was how this would look like on this. I think that looked pretty nice. This is you know, darker strap with the dark blue, and let that dial pop. But playing off of the white, because I can imagine wearing if I were a racer, like a white racing fire suit with some blue, red, and white accents. This would look pretty sweet too, like this. If you can imagine. So hopefully when I do the pictures, it'll be in better daylight situation and the colors will come out much better. But I think you can imagine this looked pretty cool too. Once you get this on wrist and actually mounted on the watch. And yeah, I thought about doing this in blue, but I really wanted to bring some of that red accent off of the watch's dial out more. And plus, I already have a white strap with like a blue line of stitching on the side already, so I just wanted to further differentiate, you know, this new strap that I have made from this one. You know, I didn't want it to feel too repetitive, you know, switching out kind of the perforation for the blue center stripe, you know, but the rest of it kind of feels the same because these both are Epson leather, right? So yeah, I just wanted to do something more different, and I think that works pretty well. The other way I would have gone if I went with blue was to do red on the side, which I've mocked up too, and experimented on their 3D, and I saved images of it. But I felt that the red on the sides would have been too dominant, and I wanted to make sure that the blue was the more dominant color between the two, because that's how it is on the watch, right? So that's it. So that's a quick look at these new bespoke straps from Handdn that I have made for this watch. So I look forward to sharing that once I have a chance to get this back on wrist, which should be pretty soon, and I'll start to showcase one or the other first, and then shortly, some point later on, bring the other one out, whichever I feel like going first or second. Okay, so let me see if I can do a zoom up here. And there we go. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your watches, right? I'm pretty sure I'm going to with these.